Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Washington Nationals franchise on MLB The Show 23. Today, I bring to you an episode that, for me, I've been waiting for a very long time to do, and that is the trade deadline video. Now, a couple things to talk about beforehand. For the last episode, if you missed it, we did our MLB draft where we took Todd Stout second overall. Every single draft pick has been signed. There's nothing here. We've got 30K in bonus allotment left, and we are finished with signing our players. I think the cutoff for that is August 1st, and we're already done, and we've still got about half a week left, full week left. With that being said, a couple of things we have coming up next is contract extensions. So obviously, we'll get to Joey Meneses later, but guys like Lane Thomas, Josiah Gray, Mackenzie Gore, Jaime Candelario, Banda maybe, and some of these guys are gonna probably have to get dealt. Like Mackenzie Gore, I'm sorry, not dealt. We'll have to get re-signed. So I don't expect these guys to be looking for huge offers, obviously, but we can definitely try to make something work with a bunch of these guys. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into my trade plans for the deadline. So I was simming and I just got a trade offer from the Cleveland Guardians, and they are offering Aaron Savali for Joey Meneses straight up. Savali, who is having an elite year right now in the final year of his contract. But here's the thing. We're not in the market for a win now type starting pitcher. I think this is a guy who probably needs to go to a team like the Yankees or the maybe not the Brewers, but he needs to go somewhere that's not here, because I'll tell you what, they may have a ton of pitching, but it's not the type of player we need right now, so we're going to decline that. So let's keep going here. Rutherford, we'll just auto that. One run lead to protect, we won't worry about that. Banda has a shutout going late. Sorry, Anthony. You'll keep your shutout, though. Yes, stop simulating. So, we're right around that trade deadline. So, contract extensions. Still going to get these going. While we're at it, let's try to bring back a couple of these guys. So, Mackenzie Gore. Let's go ahead and look at him real quick. He wants 2 years. 2 years is all that he wants. So, we'll offer him $3 million over 2 years. And Mackenzie Gore has been re-signed. There's a bunch of guys here. A lot of this stuff I'm probably going to do off screen. Are we going to bring back a guy like Sean Doolittle? I'm not very sure. So, let me go ahead and get to the 30th here. Today is the day on chat picks. Not worried about it. Edwin Diaz trying to close us out. He can go ahead and close us out. And Blake Rutherford. Today is the trade deadline. We're here. Dang, we won 17 of Jesus. But today's a trade deadline. And here is the first move that I'm going to make. So the first player that will go will be Joey Meneses. Had a very short stint with him. He's cooled off a little bit as of late, but he is the best hitter that we've had on our team since Juan Soto. But unfortunately, Meneses will be out the door. This was a pretty easy move for us to make on the final year of his deal. We have a lot of team control with him just because of how late he came from Mexico, and he's 30 years old. So but there's still a lot of team control here, and I think the Dodgers will appreciate that. And in return, we're going to be getting, first things first, we're going to be getting Bobby Miller, one of the best young throwers that the Dodgers have. Great velo, throws 4 pitches, all of them really nice, and that's going to be the main piece of this Meneses deal. The second player that we're going to get is first baseman Brandon Lewis. Hopefully the first baseman of the future. 24 years old, not batting the best right now, but it's a work in progress. He's got really nice hitting stats that I think can be developed, because he's going to be playing a lot, especially after some other trades we make. Now, Miguel Vargas could have definitely been implied into this deal. If we could have tried to get Miller and Vargas, but I think that what we have right now is fair, and I think it's what's going to work out best. So let's offer this trade to the Dodgers, and they have accepted. Joey Meneses is officially a Los Angeles Dodger. Let me go find him. So, if we go to right fielders, There's the man, Mookie Betts, torn MCL. Oh no. Yeah, it's safe to say that they needed Joey Meneses. Brought in Michael A. Taylor at the deadline as well. That's pretty big. Yeah, the outfielders are slim pickings here. Trace Thompson, who's been hitting really well. Jesus, how about that for Trace Thompson? But we bring in. Let's go look at who we got. So starting pitcher wise, Bobby Miller will start in 3A. Not on the 40 man, number 95, and he's a guy who we might hop into a game with. And the other guy is Brandon Lewis, who I'm very excited about receiving. And man, that's a great way to start. And the next move that we are going to make is actually with another first baseman, and that is, of course, newly acquired Miguel Sano. Sad to see him go, but it's what has to be done, and let me get to that trade. All right, for our second trade involving Miguel Sano, who I've made the decision again to deal at the deadline, is just hitting bombs right now. So we are going to send him off to the St. Louis Cardinals, and in return, they offered us Joshua Baez. Now, obviously, as we know, the Cardinals have Benny Montgomery sitting, Dylan Carlson still a really good hitter, and the outfield depth not really too much of a problem. Still have Lars Nootbaar, so they are willing to part ways with 19-year-old center field prospect Joshua Baez. Baez, who comes in with very solid hitting stats, doing not terrible in 3A. The power is coming along to a little better against lefties than he is against righties, and this just gets us younger, and this gives us another great piece to build around. So the trade will be made Miguel Sano for Joshua Baez. So for our third deal of the day, we are going to be trading away Carl Edwards Jr. Edwards, who has been our workhorse reliever for this season, has spent the last 2 years in Washington, and I think it's time that we finally trade him to a contender. Edwards has always put up great work. I remember him doing really good in Chicago for that stint, played a little bit in Seattle, then is right here with us. He's still 31 years old. He's got a 5-pitch repertoire, and Edwards is going to be a guy who we're going to send to a contender, somebody who I think that can make an impact in anybody's bullpen, and we are going to be trading away Carl Edwards. Let me go ahead and hop right to that one. All right, guys, we have found a trade partner for Carl Edwards, and in return, we are going to be looking for... Now, here's the thing. We're not going to be able to get the same talent that we want out of here, so we've got to make a decision, and man, that's sad to me. Royce Lewis, former number 1 overall pick. Oh, man, I really hope Royce can figure it out, man. But anyways, getting off track, Jose Salas is a name that I've been looking at. He's a shortstop that can also play center field for some reason, a switch hitter, and his rankings really not where they need to be right now, but again, the guy's only 19 years old. I think this is more than fair to pick up a reliever for a team who's trying to be a contender, and like I said, they are pretty thick in depth. Obviously, Carlos Correa, and second base-wise, Jorge Polanco. They picked up Jace Young as well, and they are looking pretty good here. Willie Castro, another guy that they got, and their infield depth is looking pretty darn solid. So with that, I say, let's go ahead and trade away Edwards and pick up a really nice shortstop prospect. And for the final player that we're going to be dealing at the deadline here today, it is a guy who we featured pretty heavily in previous episodes, but that is Anthony Banda. And he's a guy who, like I said, we followed. We moved him up from 3A, and he's a guy who's been shoving for us. Cooled off a little bit, granted, but he is a guy who has been really good for us all season, and somebody who's 29 years old and is peaking at the right time for us to deal him away and get something good for him. So Anthony Banda, obviously, probably coming up for him will be a guy like Trevor Williams or Cade Cavalli can get a call back up. The thing is, we have pitching depth behind him. Tim Cate starting to come into his own a little bit after a rocky start, but there's pitching depth here, not even to mention Bobby Miller, the key piece that we got back from the Joey Meneses trade. So there's going to be pitching talent to be had. And Anthony Banda is, I think, for me, the most expendable piece because Gray, Gore, and Strasburg are going to be our three. And then the bottom two can be dealt out between Miller, Kate, Williams, and Cavalli. So there's room here for us to make a move, and Banda is a guy who's 29 years old and somebody who can be dished away to a contender and play some winning baseball. So let me go ahead and get right to that one. We have found a trade partner for Anthony Banda, and that is the Houston Astros, as we are going to look to pick up Tyler Whitaker, a third baseman. Third base is his main position, but he can also play short and outfield, somebody who can be a great piece, 20 years old, 66 overall, 6'4", 190, and he's having a rough go of it in 3A right now, but I think as soon as we get him, we're going to move him down to 2A for him to get plenty of development so he can develop that bat even more. But here's the reason. He's 20 years old. Those rankings are not bad to start. Whitaker's got already solid fielding on him, and that 55 and 44 contact and power are really good to start, as well as the 51 power. So the guy's got good ratings to start off, and this is more than fair to get this from a contender to a contender for Anthony Banda. So we have made that trade. So players are gone. A lot of players are gone. Joey Meneses, Carl Edwards Jr., Miguel Sano, and Anthony Banda have all been dealt away. And the next step from here is to call guys up onto the 40-man, and it is to figure out the lineup for the rest of the season. So I'm going to take the time to do that here for the next few minutes, and then I will get back to y'all on what changes I have decided to make. Okay, so we have gone through and made all the changes that I feel are needed to the lineups and roster and all that good stuff. So we'll start up in the major league level. I've made Strasburg the ace again. I've moved McKenzie, who's been struggling, down to the 3 spot. Josiah Gray will stay the I think he was the 3, but he'll be the 2 now, or he might stay the 2. Tim Cate gets moved up to the 4, and Trevor Williams, who I'm hesitant about, not the greatest stint earlier, but he was doing really good down in AAA. We've got him on contract for another couple of years. So Trevor Williams, of course, will be coming back up to the major league level. As far as the bullpen goes, we have moved Anthony Castro up to the MLB. Castro, who's a nice reliever for us down at 2A. You could argue that there's guys who are more deserving, but I feel that Anthony Castro probably would be the best fit for that role. Everything else here kind of stays the same. Now, on the lineup side of it, a lot of change here. So, no more Joey Meneses, no more Miguel Sano, 2 big blows to the lineup, but Michael Chavis gets the call back up from AAA, and we have moved up Donovan Casey, who will get his first career MLB experience, and this is the guy who I'm probably going to player lock later today. Casey is a guy who's developing, 27 years old, and he was a no-brainer for the next guy to be called up in the system. He will hit 7th against righties, and he will hit not in the game against... Oh, okay, hold on. I've obviously forgot to edit this. He won't play against lefties, basically. So, this being our main lineup, we have C.J. Abrams, who will be leading off, Corey Dickerson in the 2-hole, Luis Garcia, who we welcome back, will be hitting 3rd. He's got really solid contact. Michael Chavis will hopefully give us some power off the 4-hole. Then we got Keibert Ruiz, who's turned into a really good hitter for us, and a guy who could be moving up even more in the lineup. He's 24 years old, B potential. He's got a chance to be something really, really special as our catcher. Alex Call, 6, Donovan Casey, 7, Lane Thomas, then Jaime Candelario. And I got to say, I don't like where we're at, but I like where we're at, if you catch what I'm saying. I like the fact that we're getting these guys, these young guys, a chance to develop. And we've got a matchup here against Corbin Burns. And it's not one that I am excited about, but it's one that we will be hopping into a player lock game with Donovan Casey, who makes his first career major league start. And we are back here in Washington, a new team, sitting at 47 and 59. The Brew Crew is rolling. I mean, really rolling. Their pitching is amazing. Josiah Gray on the bump for us this season, but he is not the main show. That is Donovan Casey, as he will have to make a play here. Rowdy Tellez up to bat. What can the youngster do in his first MLB start? Oh, Jesus. Not much. Home run, Rowdy Tellez. Donovan, in his first ever action, just has to watch it fly. Oh, man, that's gotta sting. I mean, just just lets it go, huh? We move with the pine tar on the helmet. Donovan Casey, his first major league at bat, comes against the ace of the Milwaukee Brewers, Corbin Burnes. Takes ball one. Acquired from the Dodgers back in 2021. I did not know that. And Casey's got some power to him, so let it not be mistaken. He can get the ball out of the park if he needs to. And quickly up 2-0 here against Corbin Burnes. Let's see what he wants to give us. 3-0. Is he about to get walked in his first MLB at bat? Oh my. Selected back in the 20th round of 2017 as that slider just ate my soul. He's throwing everything down. Not falling for it. Donovan Casey in his first career MLB at bat against Corbin Burnes gets walked. Next up, Lane Thomas. Casey's got 72 speed. I don't know what his stealing is. Okay, 44. So, it's not bad. Lane Thomas pops one up. Oh, man. Ugh, okay. Big Luke. I didn't know Luke Voigt was here. Anyways, Jaime Candelario hitting ninth. They say it's a steal situation. Gone. Stole the base. How about that for Donovan Casey in his first career MLB game? Steals a bag. Manager told me to do it. I did it. Let's see. Candelario, can he get anything to hit? It's down. Do we dare round? No, not going to do it. The throw is offline, but we are going to stay put. And Donovan on to third base. Wow, great job there. Can we score, though? C.J. Abrams back up. Oh, boy. Let's see what we want to do here. Abrams puts it on the ground. 1 out, but Donovan has scored, and this game is tied after a great piece of base running to be had. We move to the 5th, 1 runner on. Corbin Burnes still on the bump. 1-1 ball game. Burnes deals ball 1. 20th round pick back in 2017 by the Dodgers, and finally getting his shot at the big leagues, man. I tell you, this is what it's all about, as he quick pitches us for strike 1. Let's see. Do we want to sit on something here? What does he give us? Strike 2, dude. He's working that cutter. He loves throwing that cutter low. That's something I've noticed. I'm not going to chase here. It has to be something really hittable. Downstairs on the slider. Man, that thing looked good. I wonder if he'll go cutter low. Maybe sinker low or something like that. The 2-2 circle change. Slows it down, and Donovan has his first career strikeout. Oh, man. Next up, Rowdy dang. Somebody got lit up. 6-1, and the guy who just hit a home run, Rowdy Tellez, having to go back for it. Back on the warming track. God, he likes that spot. Oh boy. Next up, we're hitting Corbin Burnes. Still going strong. Looking for our first career hit on a freaking ace. Ball one, 90-mile-per-hour slider. Let's see what he wants to give us here. Nope. Dang, that cutter moves a lot, man. I tell you what. That sucker is moving. The 2-0. We've been here before. Let's see what he'll give us. Downstairs 3-0. He's thrown 2 cutters. And I believe that was a slider. Dang! First time we've been able to put the bat on the ball and not a lot on it. I'm going to have to take another look at that one. That was just bad ball. Anyways, Luis Arias, who's batting like 327, sorry, is hitting in the 7 hole. This one's right to us. And easy for Donovan Casey. We're going to have one more chance at it against Joel Payamps. Throws a slider, 4-seam, sinker, circle change. Oh, just early. Had a chance to crack that one. Let's see what we could do against another righty. I'm going to look to freaking go yard with this one. Why not? Casey going back deep. Is it enough? In his first MLB game, Donovan Casey hits his first career home run. Oh man, I knew we had a chance against anybody but Corbin Burns, and Donovan Casey turns on something hung up. Oh man, I gotta get a replay of this. Just launched that baseball. Jeez. And what a debut for Donovan Casey. As there's nobody in the dugout for his... Ah, oh, there they are. Tell you what. Congratulations, youngster. What is that? A stolen base, a walk, a run, and a home run? It doesn't matter that they lost. Donovan Casey just had a great game. Home run, 1 for 3, home run, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs. Rowdy Tellez, Eduardo Julian, Jesse Winker, Garrett Mitchell all had a field day. Not so much for us. Josiah Gray kind of got lit up. But oh man. Oh man. Are we excited? Let's take a look here. Donovan Casey had a lot thrown around him. That was by Corbin Burns. Took a walk, hit, and man, look at where he put that one. Let's see. Fastballs. What was it that he murdered? A sinker. Whew. That's how you get it done right there, man. Could not be happier. A better debut cannot be had for Donovan Casey. As we will go ahead and sim. Today's the deadline for draft picks. We do not care. Senators will auto-fix them. Israel Pineda out 1 to 2 months. Not good. And next up we have Trevor Williams on the bump against Milwaukee. We lose another game. Tim Cate. Only 1 to 2 though. Let's see how Cate did. Goes 5 innings, allows 2 earned. Doolittle comes in. Castro finishes. Not a bad game for Tim Cate. Francisco Perez really struggled into it. Jeez. Cade Cavalli was hit hard. James Wood finally tearing up the baseball. Bobby Miller with a strong outing. And things starting to come together here for except for Cade Cavalli. Are you really about to have to go down to 2A, bro? Is this really what we're about to do? I'm out here trying to develop a pitcher, and this is what we get, man. Anyways, we move. And to finish up the episode, we're going to make some moves. I've taken some time, and Cade Cavalli he's going down to 2A. He's a guy who I want to be in this rotation. You know, he's a guy that I want to be a big part, but when you're pitching .558 in 3A ball, something's not happening. You're not getting developed correctly, and Cade not that. We're gonna be moving Cade down to Double A. I need the guy to develop. He's not doing that at all, and our AAA team is looking pretty bare right now. So we will be moving up to the AAA roster. Jake Bennett. That's gonna be the first move that we make. He's a guy who's been stuck in A-ball. Kind of forgot about him, to be honest with you. Actually, how about this? Let's move him to 2A. And we will move another guy up, and that guy will be who's the one that's been pitching really well down there in 2A? Jake Irwin. That's who it is. We'll move Jake Irwin up to 3A. We still need to move another guy up, and that will probably be. Do we want to move another pitcher up? That will not be a pitcher. I'm sorry. We're going to be moving up from 2A to 3A. If I can find him. Probably need another 3A outfielder. So we're going to move Robert Hassel. Ooh, yeah, because we got a gap to fill. So how about this? How about we go ahead and move Robert Hassel up to AAA? And that'd be really good for him. So obviously we'd have to redo the lineups. Hopefully we get Hassel in there playing. Like Rutherford's still there, and Yadiel Hernandez, who's injured. The outfield depth getting kind of barren. And 3A, James Woods finally starting to figure it out. We'd love to see it, and his ratings are boosted in return. Victor Robles, he's got to figure it out. He's got to figure it out. We're giving him, there was a time when Robles was one of the top prospects in our farm system, but now we got guys coming up. Joshua Baez, another guy, and the final thing I want to talk about today is our AAA stuff. So Dom Smith, slashing pretty well right now, but Brandon Lewis, I want him to be the everyday first baseman, because I need him to get the development. Like, he's had some stuff going down, and I don't need it to go down. So we're going to be developing Brandon Lewis ASAP. So let's go ahead and fix our pitching stuff. Now we'll keep Jake Irwin as a long reliever, but we're going to move Chad Kuhl into this role. We'll put him as the 3. We'll let Jackson, we'll put him as the 2. So Bobby Miller, the new headliner of this rotation, Jake Irwin, will move into the pen. In 2A, Cade Cavalli is going to get ace minutes. Listen to the basketball. He's going to get the ace starts. We're treating him as such. Jake Bennett's a guy who I need to get in this rotation. Cisco Perez is a reliever. I do not know why he is starting. We have all starting pitchers finally. That's what we need. I don't know why it wouldn't be that. So we'll move Jake Bennett up to the 2 spot here. And we will have Cade Cavalli pitching first. And I've got a decision to make. Bobby Miller probably will be getting our next prospect spotlight, but Robert Hassel also needs one. So that will be likely the next episode. And then we will speed it up a little bit, as we have 2 more months left in the season. I'm going to be doing, we'll probably just go till September call-ups, which is in a month. So September call-ups will be around here. The 1st, actually, because it's September. You get called up in September. But, yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. In the next episode, we will go over the rest of all these trades. And, hold on. Let's see. Cubs. I'd have to go through this individual. Not going to do that. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to get this video done up and out to y'all as soon as possible. And next episode, we will be rolling through August.